was gonna fight to ultimately get back. And I'll never forget when I turned around and I looked and I seen Kamala Harris, you know, we locked eyes this one time and she laughed. She literally just like kind of bust out laughing, almost as in if she was pointing at him like, ha, 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 ha. That's how I felt. Though she didn't point, but that's how I felt when she was laughing at the verdict coming down. The next thing that I need to figure out is how can I get a retrial before I get sentenced, right? I don't know. I'm learning all of this stuff. I'm learning the law. What is it that, you know, it is? Nobody, out of everybody that was there, everybody knew I didn't do it, but niggas in their mind, they thought of it as even if you came and testified to say that I didn't do it and not say that somebody else did it, that's still telling. When it's not.
Kamala the Cosman Chameleon wrongfully convicted this man right here. That's Jamal Truelove out of San Francisco. He was sentenced to 50 years to life in prison for a crime he did not commit, framed by the San Francisco PD and Kamala Harris, who was the San Francisco DA at the time. She went along with prosecuting him, although when she first got his file, they omitted evidence and erased important details on the drawing that was created in pencil. Kamala Harris found 2 women who originally both said he didn't do it. They ended up forcing those women to say Jamal was the suspect. One of them out of fear of being prosecuted herself after she was pulled over in an unrelated possession case. She had nothing to do with Truelove's case, but they made her become a witness and join their witness protection program to avoid prosecution in her own case. Basically, Kamala made up evidence, made up witnesses, and hid the truth from the jury. Then after he was sentenced to 50 years in prison, she laughed at him.
Because how could I not?
Excited to have another conviction by any means necessary, Kamala went on to run for Attorney General of California, where she continued to avoid the truth and accountability for prosecutorial misconduct. This story was absolutely diabolical. Shout out to our brother Art of Dialogue. Thank you, Art, for giving Jamal the platform to tell his story. We're going to get into a clip, but first, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. Won't waste any time, let's go ahead and get back into it.
Now I got this new evidence. Oliver Boissenes. Oliver they had him down as being a known Norteño gang member or whatnot, but he's never been to the pen. This is his first time on the way to the pen. You know, he got the okay, you know, from his people to get on the stand and testify to what he remembered that day, right? And we did this in a motion to review for a new trial based off of new evidence before I get convicted, before I get sentenced. In the district attorney office, they came up with this cockbull fucking story saying that, oh yeah, he's doing this as a favor for the blacks and the northerners in prison and so forth and so on. Just a ton of bullshit. Like, how the fuck is this happening? And he's never even been to prison. I've never been to prison either.
There was a young Latino man who approached Jamal, telling him he knew who he was from the news, you know, having a high-profile case. He went on to tell Jamal that he was in the police station the same day police brought in a woman they pulled over. The woman came from the same neighborhood as Jamal. She was facing prison time for her own case. It was a very serious situation she got caught up in. The young Latino guy, he was also there for his own case. According to the young Latino, the woman kept telling them that Jamal Truelove didn't commit the crime. However, detectives wanted her to say he did. Why? Well, because Kamala Harris needed to find a witness in the case. They ended up making that woman an informant on Jamal's case, although she was not an actual eyewitness. She was just from the same neighborhood, and according to her in the beginning, she said word on the street was that he did not commit the crime. The woman became an informant for Kamala Harris to avoid going to prison herself, then got in court and lied on the witness stand. She changed up her whole story. Before, she said he didn't do it. Then all of a sudden, she said that he did. Again, we're talking about a woman who was not an eyewitness. The whistleblower and Jamal didn't even know each other before, but he approached Jamal because he knew the truth about what was going on in his case, and he saw how that woman was forced to flip and work with a DA. When Jamal's attorney did research on the whistleblower, the attorney found that it was true that he was also at the police station the same day as that woman. But get this, Kamala tried to dismiss the whistleblower, discredit him because he had evidence of their misconduct, all of this so she can continue to keep an innocent man locked up. And what's so diabolical about it, even when they found out who the real trigger man was, she let him go in order to hang it on Jamal just to be right so she wouldn't look incompetent and evil for convicting the wrong man.
So, but the thing about it, and this is where politics play. If they would have granted me a new trial based off this evidence that was strong fucking evidence, if they would have granted me a new trial, headlines would have been San Francisco District Attorney Kamala Harris convicting the wrong people. In a time that she was moving to be Attorney General. You got the crime lab, you got 2 murder cases that has convictions that instantly get new trials to them based off new evidence and faulty testimony in general. And so, in the judge, I believe the judge, favored this girl getting up on the stand, which she did because she had an opinion after I was convicted. So what they ended up doing was not granting his testimony as credible evidence. And they ultimately denied my new trial. I went to my second, and then when I came back for my sentencing, that's when I seen Kamala Harris again, back in there again, smiling, ha, ha, ha. I mean, you see her now, she smiles and laughs for every fucking thing, you know what I mean? And in my case, she did the same thing. And I got sentenced 50 to life. And when after I got sentenced, I made it my mission to ultimately, to get back and hold everybody accountable, from the police to Linda Allen to Kamala Harris, accountable for the negligence or the deliberateness of what she did to me and to numerous motherfuckers that surround me. Because it wasn't just me. It was Ijama, it was Demarie Hernandez, it was Charles Hurd, it was so many people, and those are all people I know that are definitively innocent that got convicted under the watch of Kamala Harris, regardless of their circumstances, regardless of their history being in the hood and so forth and so on, and oh yeah, this person was a bad person, or da-da-da-da, that's what he deserved. No, the facts are the facts, the case is the case. When they undercut these evidence and come up with evidence and not rely directly on the strong evidence to convict somebody, it's just wrong. But yeah, so I got sentenced 50 to life in prison. Yeah.
This story is just horrible. He spent 6 years in prison to make Kamala's conviction rate look good, to make her look like she was doing a good job when she was doing a horrible job. She was locking up innocent men, letting the guilty get away. So listen, the next time Jemele Hill, Charlamagne the God, Angela Rye, Joy Reid, or Rickey Smiley tell you that she didn't lock anybody up, that's a lie.
Then the black men, Kamala Harris didn't prosecute you and treated you bad in court. I got treated bad in court too.
Ask about Jamal Truelove. She locked up thousands of black men and even violated the rights of a lot of Latino men too. 6 years of sabotage, 6 years of this man's life gone. Not to mention all the years he had to fight. You know how much the city of San Francisco had to pay for Kamala's incompetence? Over $13 million in this case alone. Yeah, that's how much was paid in the Jamal Truelove case. $10 million for Jamal and $3.1 million for his attorney. Yeah, Kamala's incompetence ended up costing San Francisco over $13 million. That's how much they had to pay this man for what she did to him. If you want to hear more about this story, drop part 2 below in the comments. I'm telling you, it's absolutely crazy. I'll also leave the link below for you to check out the full interview. Again, much love to our brother Art of Dialogue. Special thank you to our sister Yvette. I appreciate you, Yvette, for all of your support. as well as our sister Andrea from Detroit. Much love to you and everybody in the D. Shout out to Starlet, Jasmine, Sharif, Darius, Big Sneed, Mark, Emmanuel, Dark Power, Roosevelt, Roland C, and William A. Again, thank you all so much for your support. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.
And I'll never forget when I turned around and I looked and I seen Kamala Harris, you know, we locked eyes this one time and she laughed. She literally just like kind of bust out laughing.